ago. So I took a week off and now I'm here. I'm just gonna get right into it because I don't have much battery on my phone. So I'm not gonna... Okay, again with this series, I'm continuing the series of 20 things I've learned in my life. I realized that there's, like, in the list, there's some topics that I'm not gonna discuss here. They're more personal. I don't remember which part this is, but on today's topic, we're gonna talk about a topic that I kind of realized last week. Yeah, it was last week. And it's about, like, it's actually a little bit topics mixed up. It's childhood dreams, desires, with the phrase of, oh, it's just a phase. I think a phase, like a phase of life, not like face, not face. So yeah, the inspiration for this topic came, I don't remember how I realized it, but somehow it just like clicked to me. Like when parents say, like, every kid desires to be, like, I don't know, an astronaut. My sister wants to be a musketeer just because we watched the Barbie movie, The Three Musketeers. She wants to be a musketeer. Like, she was dead serious about it. And usually, like, I don't know, a rock star or like something artistic, or I don't know what else, like a crazy dream. Well, you know, those sort of things. And I came, oh yeah, I was reading again some self-help book. I don't remember. Yeah, I was reading what I'm currently reading. And like I realized that like I mean, I've realized it before, but like the people we're surrounded by when we're kids, like even the subtlest things already can imply limiting beliefs. Like even like the thing is that people don't pay attention to what they are saying. Yes, this was the how I realized it, that there's so many things that people don't even realize that they are actually just putting more wood to the fire, so to the limiting beliefs to get built up. And this is like huge when you're a child, like a 6-year-old. You're still in the, I don't know how it's called in English, but like, you know, your brain hasn't developed. I mean, your frontal cortex hasn't developed until you're like 23 and 25 if you're a guy. Yeah, I know. Women were smarter. No, okay, that wasn't the point. But like from 0 to 6 is the like the soft phase of your brain. Like you're just sucking everything in. Your subconscious mind doesn't have any filter. Everything is just getting into your brain. So when a kid like says like, oh, I want to be, okay, I'm now using the example of a rock star. I want to be a rock star, a superstar. And then like, I don't know, you're a family gathering and your parents are talking, and or like family are talking, and someone is like, oh, that's just a phase, they'll grow out of it. Or like with anything, like, I don't know, you like, it doesn't have to be something related to a career. It can be just like, I don't know, you like something that isn't um, perceived as maybe okay or that normal in the society, so that then people are like, oh, it's just a phase, they'll grow out of it. But that is actually, I was listening to Jay Shetty's podcast, amazing podcast. On Purpose is his podcast name, and he had, I think he was interviewing someone, and they were talking about how everybody, when we come to this earth, we have a purpose. Everyone has a purpose, and you know it. But the thing is that there's so many limiting beliefs piled on top of them. In some, like, not in all cases, but in some cases. And that's why you're saying like, oh, I don't know what I want to do. But actually, it's not about, like, when people say that, oh, I need to find my purpose. No, it's not about that. It's about protecting it. And I found this so, like, mind-blowing. I can consider myself, like, blessed in that way that I've always, since I was a kid, I've had a strong, like, knowing of what my purpose is. But not everyone has it. Yeah, it's not about finding your purpose and what you came here to do. It's about protecting it, because there's so many people who they don't say, like, necessarily from a place of being mean or anything, but it's just also their own limiting beliefs. Because it's like, humans are so fascinating. Because, like, the limiting beliefs are coming from, like, from your grandparents, and they're just, like, keep coming and, like, going from generation to generation, unless there's someone's, like, cutting them, like, okay, enough, I'm not gonna take this limiting belief with me and pass it to my children. That's what I'm working on, because I don't want to, like, the limiting beliefs that I had and I'm working on now, like, while I'm working on them for the good of me and my highest self, I'm also working on them for the good of my future children, so that they don't have to go through, like, the things that I've had to gone through. And you know, every parent, like, I'm not a parent, but, like, a future one, I think that every parent obviously thinks like that. You're surrounded by people with different beliefs, different belief systems, so they are gonna say to you stuff that are coming from a place of their limiting beliefs and their beliefs in general. So, funny, I just looked at the camera and it was 11:11. So in order to not get sucked into that place of limiting yourself and being all like, oh, I don't know what to do because I have so many, like, limiting beliefs on me, and I don't really actually anymore know what I want to do because nothing feels acceptable. So what you have to do is to recognize that we all humans have our own belief systems and our own limiting beliefs. But of course, this is not possible when you're a 6-year-old. So what is now important? Like, it doesn't matter at what point of, yeah, I'm just hitting this rock here. It doesn't matter at what point in your life you're right now, what age you are, but to look at that 6-year-old self, what desires that version of you have. There may be some things that aren't in alignment with you anymore, and doesn't feel you like them, or they seem like appealing. But I bet that there's so many things that does, and maybe a very like important thing that is your purpose, but it's like hidden. Tune into that purpose that you came here to do. And I know that it can be like overwhelming to think. You may think like, okay, Emma, great talk, but I actually don't know. Or you have so many desires, but start with things that you know for sure you like, you like to do, you like in general, and find the like key components, or like what's similar in those things. Or maybe they're like things that are very similar, very different from each other, from the things that you like to do, but you can actually combine them, and you can find out that, yeah, doing that is actually my purpose. The thing is to start from somewhere, because if you're constantly just repeating in your mind, and to people that you talk to, that you don't know what you want to do, you're never gonna find out what you want to do, because you're constantly repeating it, affirming it, and that's what your brain is gonna also get out of it, that you don't know. But when you just start, like the hardest thing sometimes is just starting from somewhere. But it's crucial to do it if you want to get somewhere. And tune into the 6-year-old self of you. What did they like to do? What was their favorite thing to do after school? It was so bizarre. Like, I was just thinking about this sentence last week of, it's just a phase. And then, like, I went to see, like, the podcast, because I follow Haley Huffman-Smith. You know, I mentioned her so many times. So I went to check if she had posted a new podcast. And she just released a podcast about, like, childhood dreams. When she was a child, she wanted to be a singer. Like, that was one of her biggest dreams, and she worked on it a lot when she was younger. But then, as she grew older, like, there was a lot of things coming from outside that were getting into her head and forming limiting beliefs and blocking her from pursuing it. So she kind of denied herself of it and to pursue it as a career. But now, later on, she like got back into it, and now she was just recording her first song. There you can see that there's things that we like that we may be like denying ourselves of doing. And I tried to think with myself, like, did I have something like that? I didn't have per se like a long lost childhood dream, but I remember loving to write. Like, on 3rd grade we had these like writing lessons that we just wrote like stories. We could come up with stories, and I remember it being so much fun, and I loved it. But every time I went to the teacher's table to get it like corrected, and the red pencil swinging by my story, it was a horror. and getting a mark of 8 out of 10, that is like in Finland, it's like that it's decent. So every time, like, a piece of my heart was just like crushed because I thought it was the greatest story ever. And I was so proud going up there and showing to my teacher, and then like getting my my story like with pen with red like pencil all over, and that builds a limiting belief for me that I'm not a good writer. And I kept on that story for years, and it is still in there, and I can admit it that it's still there. I haven't worked on it enough that I can confidently say that no, I'm actually a good writer. I mean, yes, I'm now like I'm like in the process of reaffirming that. That's why, like, for example, Finnish subject in school was like my least favorite, and I always struggled on it because since I was like 9 years old, I kept telling myself the story, because your like thoughts, you create a story if you hung on to them, and that also creates like limiting beliefs. For example, last summer I wrote a short film. I never filmed it because I was like, I don't know, it's not good enough. I don't know, because I've also been telling this story since I was like 15 that, oh, I'm meant to like perform other people's stuff, and I'm not that good of a writer. But it's a lie. I've been blocking myself from the writing thing because I've been hanging on to the story that I'm not good enough. Tune into that child version of you. Get into a quiet place with yourself. And also don't put pressure on you for, okay, I need to now find my purpose, or like connect with my purpose. Not finding it, it's about reconnecting with it. The best thing you can do is reconnecting with like all the things that you love to do. If there's something you have been stopping yourself from doing because you started thinking that, oh, I'm not good enough or something like that, reconnect with those things that you love to do and just enjoy doing them. And I bet that you're gonna get this feeling of fulfillment. That's every time I, for example, film or I'm in front of the camera, I feel so like fulfilled. Because it's part of my purpose. I know that for sure. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and hopping into YouTube and clicking this video, and I hope that I see you on Sunday. So bye.